Alright, and welcome back again to Sunless Sea, Zubmariner, and TheNosePlays. Sorry for the moment before. Hopefully nobody saw the last little video. But I tried to stream this a few minutes ago, and we had all kinds of weird issues with my upload speed. So I lowered the bitrate a little bit to see if that helps. Hopefully it does, and we don't have the same kind of problems that we've had. If the quality of the video isn't as good, let me know, and I may end up switching it back at some point, but for some reason tonight my internet is just not working very good. Okay, so tonight is the night. I have decided we are going to go ahead and jump to a better ship. We're going to go ahead and pick up the Corvette that I was looking at before. It's more of a side grade than a true upgrade, but I think it will be interesting to play around with it, at least for a short while. And if for no other reason, then I've never really played with that ship before. I've used some of the other ones. I tend to just skip over that one because it's such a side grade. But I want to give it a try, and I want to see some things. So if we go to the shipyard and we look here at the Forward class Corvette, let's take a look at how it compares to the ship that we currently have. So you can see, first of all, it's a little bit bulkier, a little bit bigger in size. It does have double the hull capacity, which is nice. It has the same, hull capacity, the same hold capacity at 40 units, so we'll be able to do the same kind of trips that we've been doing. But the one thing that is different, or one of the several things, it has 2,000 weight. What this means is the same amount of engine power that we use in this ship will push this ship at a slower rate. I don't know exactly the formula for it. I've seen it in a spreadsheet. There are people who've done all these calculations and know exactly the differences between them all. I don't remember offhand what exactly it is, but you don't need, if I'm not mistaken, you don't need double the power to move at the same speed. So, for example, 800 engine power at the beginning of the game will move this ship at a speed of X. To move this ship at a speed of X, you don't need 1,600 power. I don't believe that is the case. But you do need more power. 800 engine power on this ship would move this ship slower than this ship by some measure. So we're going to have to probably either deal with the fact that we move a little bit slower in this, which might be okay, or find a way to supplement our engine power a little bit more. Maybe we end up throwing other engineer on and get that extra 100 engine power, see how that helps or doesn't. We might try that. But I've really been enjoying the fuel efficiency of the other one. But we might need it for the speed. We have more quarters, 50% increase in crew capacity, so good for us. That means that we can deal with some of these events where we use crew a little bit better and not have to freak out. And, you know, almost, or in cases, actually go to half power. And we get an irons bonus, so we just do a little bit more damage in this. Finally, the most important change, besides maybe the hull capacity, is we get a forward weapon slot, which means we get a brand new weapon slot. We can be a little bit more offensive, and the extra hull means that we'll definitely be able to take advantage of it. So let's go ahead and get this done. Let's go ahead and make that trade. We're going to give the new ship a new name. Call it Serenity. And here we go. There's our new ship. Let's take a look at shops and make sure that we're all supplied up. So I'm definitely going to want to pick more supplies. More supplies just isn't going to cut it. We actually didn't get extra crew. That's interesting. Some of the ships actually will max you out on crew when you pick up the ship. You don't just carry the crew that you had over. So I don't feel about buying those sailors as I would have. But with the 7 crew, we could only lose 1 crew at this point. And with 6, if we lose 2 crew, we would be at 50% power, which would be kind of. So let's go to London and let's check new recruits. Ooh, we got 2 new recruits here. The Genial Magician is actually a really interesting character whom I am somewhat interested in pursuing. He has a special engine that you can unlock that is quite nice. This will simply increase our crew by 1. I'm going to go ahead and pick him up. We have 3 engineers at this point, but I think that will be a worthwhile investment. We're definitely going to need to go for some more crew for 30 Echoes. We got 3 crew, we're up to 10. I don't necessarily think we need more than that. I think we'll just hold tight at 10 for now. If we can find somebody really cheap later on, we might pick them up, but... and then we're going to need more supplies, so... buy a couple more supplies. And then maybe a bunch of wine? What do we have in our hold? We got several things in our hold that we need to deal with. The anatomical cabinet gives us extra irons. The scintillac and the strange catches are kind of annoying. I could sell the scintillac if I wanted to. We could also find some use for the strange catches. Actually, no, one use for them that we can use pretty early on. Which I can demonstrate, which will be good. So yeah, I think we just buy some mushroom wine. We'll stack mushroom wine. We only get 4 of them, but that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and sell the scintillac, and we're going to go to Caminus Yards and look at a forward weapon. So I can buy this forward weapon. This does 20 damage and 28 life damage. 20 hull damage, so it damages ships pretty well, but it damages sea beasts even better. It also does 3 crew damage per shot. Warm-up timer is 4. Stagger amount is 2 seconds, so it actually has a stagger. We cannot get this one, which is the aft weapon. The other option is this forward weapon. However, this one does cost torpedoes. This is a torpedo launcher. Cost 1 torpedo component per use. It's much more powerful, but I don't want to have to pay for torpedoes. It's also a little cheaper to buy. Let's take a look at what his weapons are. So he's got a deck weapon and a forward weapon. This one only costs 600 and it does 24 and 24. I mean, there's really no reason for us not to buy this one. $20 and 28. Interesting. So it does more damage to the Z-Beast, but they tend to have more health anyways. Maybe I do buy this one. Now let's go ahead and buy the cheaper one. We'll throw that in our forward slot. Now we have 2 weapons we can fire at a time. We have plenty of fuel. We have a little bit of wine. 1 firkin of honey. And an anatomical cabinet. I can sell this at one of the ports. I believe it might be Wither. But I don't think I want to go that direction. With all the fuel that we have, we should definitely go and... Well, we should go buy coffee and do a coffee run to Vienna. But in order to do a successful coffee run, I kind of need to not have some of this other crap in my inventory. So maybe we do go sell the anatomical cabinet up north real quick. I mean, I kind of want to try out these new guns on something. Perhaps we fight one of the icebergs and see if we can sort of kite them with our staggering shot. Yeah, let's go give it a go. We could lose our captain very quickly doing this, but I think with 200 hull we'll be okay. So we'll head up to Wither, we'll sell the anatomical cabinet. And if we're going to do that, maybe we just make the trip out to Irem. If we make the trip out to Irem, we can finish uncovering all of this stuff here. We definitely have the fuel to make another long trip. Supplies will be a little bit of a problem, but maybe we can stock up in Demu. If I am going to do that, I do need to go back to London and the shops, and I need to buy 1 coffee. You need a bag of coffee to get into Irem. So we've got our 1 bag of coffee, we've got a couple of casks of wine, we've got a firkin of honey. So we can get into all of those locations on the east side of the map that require items to get into, which is good. Alright, so let's go ahead and make this trip. We'll see how we do. Yeah, I'd say we are noticeably slower. Alright. We are noticeably slower, but... Alright, let's go ahead and hit low Barnett. Since we're right here. And now that we have a ship with a little bit more hull capacity and some better weapons, I might be a little more willing to do some fighting underwater as well. But we'll see how we do against some of the less dangerous stuff. We'll go ahead and get a quick port report here. I don't think we're going to be trading stories with the congregation at the moment, and we don't have a something awaits us, so yeah, there's nothing really here for us. We'll just get back out to sea. Something pinged. What do we got here? Oh, yes. much better at this task than we were before. Alright. There... It makes a much more convincing wreck now you've finished it off. You've defeated a wreck ship. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Sending aboard a boarding party. 59%. Destroy them utterly. Perhaps they're still shamming. Perhaps you are in need of target practice. Perhaps you just haven't blown anything up in a while. We have a 60% chance, roughly. Let's go for it. Oh. Well... You've gained 2 fuel and 1 supply and 130 echoes. Yeah, we only need to give up 1 thing to get to 40, so there we go. We lost 1 fuel. Cool. Another shipwreck over here. This one's not an active, dangerous one, so we'll go ahead and scout it out. A silent wreck. Encrusted protrusions of coral fix the wreck's anchor to the seabed. The bow has shattered on the rocks. The anchor chain groans in the current. This may not be wise. We'll go ahead and pass on it. I don't want to get us in a bad spot as soon as we get into the game. Our oxygen is at about half. Alright, cool. Another little thing over here for us to explore. Oh, I see I have 2 ranges for these weapons. Interesting. Yeah, these guns do really good. Cool. A cloud of oily bubbles signals the beast's end. Its interminable refrain of moans and burbles and plaintive whistles finally dies away like a harmonium going down a drain. Fillet it for supplies. Anything that puts up such a fuss must be edible. Or dissect it for knowledge. Your bellies can wait. We'll go ahead and grab the supplies. Lost 5 hunger and 5 terror. That's cool. We lose terror for killing these things. The fin. No, wait, the flank. Or wait, the liver. Oh, the eye. Oh, salt. No fruit de beer this is. It's meat. There's no other word for it. Rosy, pink, and sweet, and tasting like the finest steak. No like cream, no like marbled honey. And suddenly it's all gone, and only the smell of abyssal brisket is left lingering in your plates and fingers. Cool. And we found an unprepossessing mass, suitable for smoking or fling it overboard. We will smoke it for a supply. Cool. And up, and away. Running low on oxygen, that's what this is. Which is fine. Good timing. Good timing for us to get out. That's about as long as you can stay underwater without hitting an oxygen supply. We've hit the oxygen bubbles a couple of times while traveling by Zub. There are little coral beds that have bubbles that you can collect. We'll go to the Vengeance of Jonah. Ooh, yes, we do have one of these. Cool. Offer a strange catch. You were fortunate. What did we gain? I can't see. I guess we'll toss it here. Oh, 3 supplies. Interesting. Okay, that's cool. We can turn strange catches into supplies and echoes if we're lucky. We could also spend 60 echoes here to lower terror, potentially. And that will allow us to gather more supplies in Demew, hopefully. I don't think there's anything in the shops that we need to do. So then it's off to Wither and the icebergs, which I wanted to try and fight for once. We'll see if we can sneak up on one. Oh, no, we're not done. I need a port report. Let's see. Gather the gossip and explore. Okay. 3 fragments. Oh, whoops. Gotta get a little further away from harbor before I engage the weaponry. Alright, cool. We got bats. That's easy peasy. 13. What can I throw overboard? I guess a fuel. Supplies are worth more than fuel, so... as long as you have fuel, I suppose. Alright, we should be coming up on the first iceberg. There he is. Go. Easy peasy. Like I said, they're fairly easy to deal with when you have the right weapon. Hopefully we got something good for that. Concentrate on replenishing supplies. Take a moment to enjoy your victory, then poke through the fragments. You've destroyed a lifeberg. It's big, there may be something or combustible in there, somewhere a tough challenge. Or concentrate on gathering treasures. You need money more than edibles. I'm going to go for the treasures. Cool. 2 outlandish facts and a hunting trophy. That's something we haven't had in a while. I don't think we've ever had one, actually. I could definitely use them. Oh, another one. I didn't realize there were 2. I wonder if that one is respawned from the other one. Another hunting trophy. And cache of curiosities. 7 fuel. Holy going to see it respawn again? Or was that a second one that just happened to be close by? Let's try to get over to the shore here. Well, now that we can kill those with ease, that will help a lot. That's another cool way to possibly restock and reset supplies. And it's fairly painless to do, as long as you keep them at max range. Yeah, there's another one right there. We'll have to be careful how we engage this one, because if we're not careful... Ooh, 2 of them. Interesting. So they roam in pairs now, do they? Shops. The anatomical cabinet. So there's one port pretty much somewhere on the map that will buy each one of these special items that you craft in your study. The prices are always the same for each one, but they're not always the same. So for example, the price for the anatomical cabinet will always be 100 and it will always be in this city. The prices for the other ones will always be in the same cities, but the price may vary depending on which item it was. So some items might sell for 300, some might sell for 1,000. It just depends on what is used to make them. This one is pretty easy to make with those cheap lamentable relics, so you don't get a lot of money for selling it. But it's still a pretty good one to craft and sell. So we sold that now. Let's go to Wither and get a port report and explore the town. We now have Storm's attention, and we got 160 fragments unchanged. Not sure why we only... Not sure why that happened that way. Seems like we should have gotten some. Alright, guess the question is, do I want to fight this one? Might as well, right? Alright. Ah! He's gonna charge me. He's running away. And he's coming back. Ugh. Oh dear. Alright. We're running through a lot of fuel doing this, but should we collect supplies? I'd rather get treasures. Yeah, we get a lot of fuel that way, so that's quite nice. We won't be running out of fuel anytime soon at that rate. Coming up here and killing those, if we could get that kind of reward regularly, would be quite nice. Cool. Well, so far I'm pretty impressed with this ship. It does feel a little bit slower, but really not much. We'll get our port report. And offer the Shiver Monkeys a lamentable relic. Trade a lamentable relic for 3 unread logs. 1 lamentable relic for 3 unread logs. That seems like a fair trade. I don't know what we'll do with the unread logs, but there are several things we can do with them. And a lamentable relic is basically worthless. They're super cheap, and we know where to buy them for like 10 echoes, so I'm not too worried about it. Well, shucks. Mount Palmerston is right there, but we have like 20 freaking fuels, so we're probably not even going to need to do anything in terms of purchasing. The question is, do we want to go and hit like a bunch of these and then come back up? That might be worth doing. So if we're going to do that, do I want to just head straight to Abbey Rock? And then hit Shepard Isle and Mount Palmerston like that? That seems like the best plan. Station 3 is not one we really need to worry about. Let's head straight to Abbey Rock. I did want to check on my officers real quick, because I now have the Genial Magician. The Genial Magician provides veils and mirrors, but -1 hearts. Maybe's Daughter gives us extra engine power, and he gives us a very small amount of fuel efficiency. Let's go ahead and switch Maybe's Daughter in and see if there's a noticeable difference in our speed. And while we're traveling over the ocean here, we really could dive and travel underwater and look for more treasures, but we'll be diving momentarily. Alright, what do we have? The Nightmare has popped up again. We'll go ahead and run that. We failed, unfortunately. Alright, we're really close to the Shepard Isles. It's quite amazing how much more firepower you have. It looks like we have lost some hull. I don't remember getting smacked by anything. So I'm curious why our hull is at 184. Oh, we did get shot. Now I remember when we fought this underwater ghost ship. I'm not really feeling it. I'm not really feeling the supplies draining super fast. They're definitely draining faster, but we're keeping up with it so far. We have a strange catch to give them. Interesting. Yes, let's do this. The sisters need provisions for the Feast of St. Knot, something fresh. They are prepared to pay with scintillac. Trade a strange catch for a consignment of scintillac. Ensure you have space in your hold. How much space do we have in our hold? We have 4 spaces in our hold. We will have 5 if we give them this. Oh, I didn't sell this. Well, that sucks. I thought I did, but apparently I did not. Got so excited about using my weapons. Let's go ahead and do it. We got 1 scintillac. Well, that's great. Why would you not have space in your hold if you give them a strange catch? That seems odd. But okay, compile the port report, and we could offer them a gift of a hunting trophy. We have 3 of these now. This will reduce terror, which we could actually use. Lost 10 terror for a hunting trophy. Gain Stone's attention. Let's go ahead and read this. The Sisterhood respects 2 things: unswerving decades of fidelity at a wholly secret purpose, and the ability to shoot straight. Perhaps you can demonstrate the second. The muscular Prioris inspects your trophy. I'll put it with the others, she says. Her tone suggests grudging respect. You and no more than 3 sailors are invited to dine with them that evening. And you do, on a black, laver-bred and uncooked cavern trout among fierce women with spiked rosaries. One of them hacks up her trout with an axe. But at the end of the evening, when the plates are cleared away, the room goes quiet. A tall nun with a startling strabismus sings in a rich, deep voice like a stolen sunset about the hills of her homeland, far above. Firelight flickers on the faces of your crew. Cool. That is good to know that we can reduce terror here for pretty cheap. And those are pretty easy to come by. We can kill like 4 of those every time we go by that area. There's always 3 or 4 of them spawn there, apparently. We can do quite nicely. I think we'll save our snippet of news, and we won't be selling them supplies. But we got what we came for. There's a little crab over there. Try to stay in the light as much as possible. Interesting. We were able to do pretty well with that. The Shepard Isles. Of course, the bearded watchman tells you there's no actual shepherds on the Shepard Isles. Sheep are mostly illegal here. Compile a port report. We don't have something awaits us, so there's nothing to do here, unfortunately. But that's the danger of traveling from really close place to really close place. We will have something awaits us when we get to Anthe, which we should go to now. And we haven't even really used that much fuel. That little pirate ship would be easy pickings, but let's just head to Anthe. There we go. Alright. Gather a port report. Check the shops. Nothing really here to buy. Mutter salt will get you Scintillac, which is interesting. There's a fairly lengthy trade route that ends with Scintillac, I believe. You take sapphires, which you can buy for 86. You can trade them for 2 mutter salt, which you can then trade for 2 scintillac, which sell for 70 in London and more in other locations. So that's a quite profitable trade route if you can get through all those ports. We got our port report. I don't really want to spend time here. We want to get on our way to Ireland. Alright, let's see if the stream catches up. So I just lost my stream mid-stream. Let's see if it ends or if it catches back up to us. I think we're good. Alright, cool. Off to Mount Palmerston. And again, we used our something awaits us, I think. Oh no, we didn't. We don't want to go up to the crater. There's nothing up there but bad news. Grab our port report, and with 8 supplies, it's a matter of luck. I can't remember what we get from this. I thought it was pretty good. 60% chance. Ah yes, an outlandish artifact. Okay. And 2 supplies. And we gain terror and 3 lamentable relics. Explore the island. Ooh. The view from above. A high place, the Z like a rippled sheet of night green jade. The roof of the neath above, the bellied with stalactites and pricked with false stars. Look out across the water. What are you thinking of? Know the words to speak, and here its eyes are on you. I believe this one will remove terror. I don't remember what these other ones do. Let's go ahead and remove some more terror. That was probably a wise choice. The other ones might have given you permanent stat points though, so I just can't remember. Alright, supplies are slightly low, but I think we've got enough to get around. And 22 is kind of steep. Fuel, we're fine on fuel, to be perfectly honest. I don't think there's any need to buy any. Nope, I think we're just going to take off. We did get our port report. And we got whatever that was. Ah. God damn it. There we go. Let's see if we can fight this guy. Investigate the hold. A cache of curiosities. A bale of parabola linen. Alright. Let's get our map over here where we need to be. Okay, so we're heading to the Chapel of Lights next. One thing you can do if you really are in trouble with terror is you can sit on one of these with your lights on. It will burn fuel, but it will drop that terror bar down a little bit. Unfortunately, there's fog here, and fog just makes everything shitty, so turn the lights off and we'll just get going. There's nothing we can do about it. I think we are going to head south to Demue to restock supplies while our terror is lower than what it could be on our way back. Eat at the chapel's bounty. That was actually a good time for that. Gather intelligence. Provide something for the feast. 3 ambiguous elith. We'll need to remember to grab 3 ambiguous elith on our next route. There was ambiguous elith at Anthe, I'm pretty sure. So we can pick it up there. A low-risk challenge. That would use up all of our supplies and be very bad for us, so we won't be doing that. And there are no shops here. On to the Avid Horizon, perhaps? Or do we go to Demue? Hold space, we have 12. We could go to Demue and pick up supplies. That'll be the closest place to get supplies for some time. And on our way, I think we've already cleared that there is nothing underwater over here. I'm pretty sure. But we could actually sail underwater. Just to be sure. There is a current here we could take that would help get us across the map faster. We've destroyed another one. A modest challenge. We should definitely take it. Free supplies and echoes are always good. Something over here only has 5 health. We could kill that in an instant. Alright, what do we got? Your Zub's lights illuminate dark tendrils of blood in the water. There is movement at the porthole. Some of the Corsairs have survived. Destroy the submarine. There will be bloodshed. There may be supplies. A straightforward challenge or negotiate surrender. They cannot last long. Their craft is as good as destroyed. Signal a cessation of hostilities with your lights. 81% chance. We could potentially lose crew here, but we have a 100% chance of success. We could also potentially gain some more crew, but I don't think we need them. So we're going to go with that. And surface. Yeah, this ship is way better in terms of combat. It's ridiculous how much better. It's like night and day. It feels a lot like the regular ship, though. I'm not really noticing massive differences in speed loss due to the higher weight capacity. The crew are going through supplies a little bit more quickly, but now that we can kill things, we actually can get quite a few supplies. Free supply for that, and then a port report, and then we'll just do this a whole bunch. How many spaces do we have left? 7? 4, 5, 6, and we were unable to get the 7th, but that's fine. We're in really good shape here. I think we'll go to Port Cecil. And then over to Con. We can pick up supplies down this way once we're done, but we can refuel in this area, I believe. In a pinch, we can also refuel at Port Cecil, but we have 14 fuels, so I do need to be a little bit more wary about my terror now that we've accumulated 50. Modest challenge. We failed and gained a terror. Hopefully we don't have any more trouble with the stream. Just randomly ending on me. Alright, Port Cecil. Explore. Gather intelligence. Grab that first. Gather Scintillac. That is a chancy challenge. Explore the coral knoll around Port Cecil. Something awaits you. Let's just do that one this time. Interesting. Privateer encampments. This was an empty cliff top above the bleak waves. Now it blazes with color. Striped tents, colored flames, and the music of pianola and kettle drum. Mustachioed women and languorous men play chess, carve bones, eat cats, and polish their terrifying brass weapons. These are Iron Republic privateers. Pirates whose practices contravene the very laws of nature. Attack, they are numerous, but lost to wine and music. You will have the element of surprise, but it's very hard to know exactly what those weapons will do. Keep close and eavesdrop. The Republic is privy to the gossip of hell. Creep close and you may learn impossible secrets. A chancy challenge. We'll do that one. Success. Fragments of meaning. They are speaking of a raid on Khan's glory, from which they stole pieces of prayer of a boast that a rival band made about stealing the Empress's wedding dress, of a sort of spiced meat which fills the heart with love, but they speak too, almost coherently, of privateer liars in the Western Wall, of passwords in use, of brass embassy protocols, and of tuning techniques for drawing lost souls close. A buzzing rises in your brain as you listen, until your eyes become unfocused and your tongue feels thick and heavy. You creep away before anything worse can happen. But this is an odd and useful miscellany of facts. Fragments, terror, nothing much else. High risk challenge. I don't care for that at the moment. And I don't care for these prices. We definitely are fine on resources. So, to Khan's glory, the one that we sailed right past because the fog made it too hard for me to see anything last time. We've already been to Khan's heart. I may bounce down there at some point, but at this point I really just want to get to Khan's glory. We need to win favor with them somehow. I think the way you win favor with them is through transporting lots of coffee to them. Let's see here. I think if we just go straight through here, we should be fine. Probably avoid the eel. They're only somewhat menacing, but they are menacing. There it is. I did sail right past it. Khan's glory, a place of stately isolation. Here are the palaces of the Khan and his court, each a fortress to itself. Sleek lords and ladies in belted robes breakfast on balconies. An unlikely antelope peeks at you from a park. Guns rotate easily on motorized gimbals. Offer a gift to Leopold. Leopard? Leopard? Offer a gift to the leopard. The royal clan of the Khan. The Khan himself has a notorious weakness for coffee, and his court follows suit. Okay. Petition for access to the Nephirite Quarter. The clan of the Leopard grants trade licenses to foreigners. This gives access to the Nephirite Quarter in Khan's Heart to the south, allowing you to sell your goods there. Offer a gift to Tiamat. This clan is named for a sizable and ferocious fish of the surface. They have a fondness for drowning pearls, or some secret clan ritual. Plead your case with Timon. The Timon clan has long controlled the white and golds, the loyalty service who watch the Kagenians and foreigners alike. If they're convinced your intentions are good, they may be lenient. If your suspicion has risen too high, this will reduce it. Ask the leopard contacts to intercede with the Timon. Interesting. Lots of options here. Well, we have a 100% chance of passing this, so we should probably do it. Strength and brilliance. Lost 2 terror. You've gained 1 memory of a distant shore, and you've gained 1 menaces. Kagenian suspicion. New total 8. The white and golds are watching you. That's not good. Let's go ahead and give some drowning pearls to these guys. You now have 1 favor. Cool. I can do that a bunch of times, it looks like. Two favor. We're gonna have to find a way to get in here. It says I need 5 sacks of dark drop coffee and I only have 1. So we won't be able to get in today. That's fine. So what port is right here? Oh, Frostfound. Frostfound is a good port to find. However, we're gonna have to travel a little ways in order to unlock something awaits us, which we need. This is one of the prettier islands. It's actually 2 pieces. There's a big ice bridge that leads to the other side. Very cool. Alright, we should get some free terror reduction and loot here. As long as you have something awaits you, you can take tea with the squatters. And you can get 1 supply and 1 fuel and lose 10 terror. We've done this before, so I'm not going to read it. But we will grab a port report. That 1 fuel should be enough to help us get somewhere else. right. Some distance. Okay. Well, it should be right over here somewhere. Oh, Bright is actually not a port. It's just the back end of the Frostfound Island. I do see what looks like another island right over here. So let's find out what it is, shall we? Looks like a big iceberg to me. Something underwater, some distance to the south. Let's see what it is. Hopefully one of the cities we've been looking for. Ooh. How many of these do I have? 4? Success. We gained a fragment. The Gant Pole. We found it. Alright, where's the port? Some mysterious inky black crap here, making it hard to see even with my lights on. We've been meaning to come here for a while, I believe. Approach the woman in red, where the Z goes to die. The submarine surfaces in a pocket of air in the middle of the giant stone heart. You are not the only new arrival. A midnight whale lies mortally wounded on a small beach of bone and blubber, moaning softly. An elderly woman in ragged red robes is carving its flesh, attended by a few disciples. Approach the woman in red. Her hands move with expert, if incomprehensible, precision. A demonstration in Horospace. The art of divination through entrails, not the most pleasant or reliable way of seeing the future, especially with the organs in question still warm and oozing as she plucks them from the great beast. Whatever she's looking for, the focus it demands exhausts her. A sudden sound rumbling from the tunnels, the ventricles, the sound of a stampede. A cry of "Protect the Mistress!" as a flood of naked old men and women wielding primitive bone harpoons charges forward towards the whale. Old sailors fixate on one goal: feast on the Z-flesh, whether the horsemix is finished or not. Defend the fading haruspex. Join the attack. Stay out of it. These sailors look old enough to collapse at a slight breeze. Sure, let's defend the lady in red. A rancid rout. You stride into the melee. The haruspex and her disciples are outnumbered, but your contribution to the fray is worth at least 10 of the elderly attackers. Their harpoons barely leave a scratch. Wrenching one from the nearest attacker, you easily hold the geriatric horde back with little but pointed gestures. The Haruspex returns to her work. From the corner of your eye, you see a little of the method behind it. Just a little, but enough to see the traces of a pattern in the grooves of a small ivory slate. The one they fear waits in a pale cavern. The walls are carved with prophecies. She frowns, unsatisfied. The whale moans its last as she finishes up. Her work done, she thanks you with a nod, and has her people allow the old sailors to approach the slowly cooling carcass. Okay. So we can hunt these things and bring the bodies back here, apparently. Interesting. Let's get our report. The Admiralty is unlikely to take it seriously. The Gant pole, the favored hazing method of many a veteran sailor, save for particularly wet behind the ear recruits. Ask your captain to deliver this to the Gant pole. Go to the Gant pole and find my pocket watch. Tell the crew tonight we dine at the Gant pole. A hilarious jape, when not standing in the blasted place and hoping someone will pay for recent news from it. Speak with the fading Haruspex. She sits in a ghoulish tent made of the bone and hide of long-dead beasts, saving her energy for the next great behemoth to reach its grisly end. Ask about the art. Bring recent news. Ask about her. Ask about the traveler. This must be the person the sixth witness meant for you to meet. That was the one that died at King Eater's castle, I believe. A matter for later. The fading Haruspex shakes her head. I have seen nothing of this, but nor have I asked. If I have it in me, once I have my answer, I will attempt the divination. Okay. Let's go ahead and give her our recent news. She listens intently to the latest gossip and scandal. How I missed it. Thank you. That makes many things clearer, and other things so much more confused. Let me show you some of my art. I suspect it will have the same effect. Alright. Ask about her. The passage of time. How long has she been down here? 10 years? 100 years? 1,000? It is all the same after a while. The flesh keeps the body together. The mind, well, that is a trickier matter. I have coped. Others have not. You have not seen them, the oldest of the sailors, with no warm bed and loving family calling them to the shore. They are as much creatures of the sea as any that swim in it. The heart welcomes them, and they embrace it. It is their fate. I see a far more important one in your future. It has been so long, the last who came here without being drawn long ago. Time enough that these nails were short and this face still held some beauty. Oh, spare me the sympathetic murmurings. I see the present better than the future. Like any other. But where was I? Yes, the Presbyterian princess was the last to find me. She came from the city on the mountain to ask the fate of an uprising. Not that the 7 who fell, but the 7 who followed. Would the pain be worth it, she asked. What part? That part I could not answer. Interesting. Alright, no more questions for now. Let's look at the shops. So the shops are pretty cool down here, and primarily because you can buy some stuff or sell some stuff that you wouldn't normally be able to. So a harlot fry is a rare item that you can get from a quest in some of the cities. For something awaits, you do the random quest, and sometimes you'll pick up one where you can fight a sea monster and get harlot fry, which are like baby sea monsters. You can sell them for 10 hunting trophies, which is quite a lot. Stygian ivory can be bought for Tales of Terror. Curious how many Tales of Terror we have at the moment. You can sell the heart of the Tree of Ages and a live specimen here. We did come across live specimen, I think from killing a pirate ship or something. And then a carboy of primordial shrieks can be traded for firkin of prisoners' honey. There's a multiple chain trade route that includes firkins of honey to carboys to several other items that I don't recall at the moment, but that's one way to make some money. There are a few other places where this is used, but nothing for today. However, supplies, they don't sell for very much, but you can buy them relatively cheap here at 18 apiece. Fuel's only 12, so the actual cost of a fuel and a supply from this location is about even with London. It's basically 30 echo per pair. So this is actually a reasonable place to resupply if you have to. We don't need to resupply at the moment, but we do need to continue to uncover more of the map. I want to go ahead and head to the surface and get to the Chelenate. The Chelenate is always near the Nat Pole. It should be right to the south of us, and then we can sort of loop back around and head up to Irem in the corner there. So let's go ahead and surface. There we go. Very close indeed. Since we didn't use our something awaits, we have it for this location, the Chelenate. We have several things going on here. Even the Chelenate's hardy folk keep their distance. This is a submarine quest. Compile a port report. How does one express this very striking smell? Let's read the introduction to the Chelenate first. Waves lap the slabby sides of a vast turtle shell bigger than any cathedral. Chelenites loaf on wooden docks around the shell sides, staring sullenly. Lamps hang like decorations in a festive butcher's window. All around you, the sea is rank with scraps of ancient flesh. This is basically a town on the back of the dead turtle shell, and this is where a lot of sea beasts get butchered. It's kind of like the butcher shop. Hunting trophies. Show off a hunting trophy. Young Chelenites gather around your ship, pressing for chalk bones to your bow. They demand stories. Trade a hunting trophy for an outlandish artifact. I have quite a few outlandish artifacts. Let's take a look at our hold real quick. We have 11 Tales of Terror. That's quite a few. We have 9 outlandish artifacts at this point. So you can see the firkin of honey can sell. You can sell the carboys here directly for a profit. Firkins of honey, even from London, I think, purchase for like 25. and you can trade them out very quickly for 37. So that's a pretty good profit if you had a whole bunch of them. A tough challenge. Shore leave? We don't need that. A port report. We should grab that. No matter what details you try to record, the stench creeps in around the edges of the sentences. The Chelinate's watchful despite the reek. Movement among the miasmic scraps of long-abandoned monster carcass. Frequent duels with the stink is thickest. Let's go ahead and check out this guy once. For the flesh, he slithers, drooling, pouring from between his rotten teeth. The gant pole where the beathies died. Bring flesh. We sell it to the turtle. Fresher meat. Big money to make it. Alright, he wants us to transport him to the Gant pole. Well, that's easy to do. Unlock with Gant pole a barrel of rancid flesh. That will probably unlock once we get this guy down there. Unfortunately, there's nothing to buy here in terms of fuel. So we'll have to be a little bit careful with only 6 fuel remaining. Alright, cut some flesh for the Chelinates. Continue. Explore the Gant pole with foxfire candles. Don't have any of those at the moment. Don't really have much to say to her. I guess I could buy 1 fuel. Alright, back out. We'll deliver this to this dude. See what happens. Delithus! The Rodulant flesh merchant dips a finger in the quivering blubber and tastes it with shivering enjoyment. He pays you and gets to work selling it via the cupful. It's impossible to tell if the Chelinate prefer it to customary diet of rancid turtle meat, but it is at least different flavor of terrible. His customers are still licking their lips when the barrel is drained of the last oily drop. 200 echoes. Wow. Okay. Wonder how many times we can do that. That seems like a really good little trip we can make every once in a while. Alright. Oh, excuse me. Getting kind of tired. Time to head to Irem, I guess? can find anything else out here. Ooh, those are dangerous. Those things can shoot. I would rather not fight anything that can shoot at me. Looks like there's an island over here. Ah, yes. The skull. Alright, what's up here? Icebergs, Nebula's Reef. And the city of Iron. One of the most important cities that you can find because some of the best trade routes are rooted here. None have ever spoken truthfully of this place. The House of Amber Sky costs 1 sack of dark drop coffee, and something awaits you to get in. It looks like you can grab the port report even without getting in. So that's interesting. Sacrifice lamentable relic. Trade a lamentable relic for 2 moves in the great game. I don't know that we need more moves in the great game, but we do have a lot of lamentable relics. House of the Amber Sky. Payment in coffee. Rest, traveler. Our waters are warm. Our cushions are petal soft. Lay your head here. You will be healed. Or better yet, you will be renewed. Payment in coffee? Yes, please. Close your eyes. The House of the Amber Sky is a roofless space beneath the false stars of the Neath, rich with the scent of Irem roses. Despite the ice, it's warm as a desert evening. You will arrange yourself on the cushions. Close your eyes, just for a moment. Okay, so we've got a couple of different things. You need irons of 100, hearts of 100, veils of 100. Yeah, that's going to be difficult. A mirror catch box. And we won't be doing that one. We don't have any wounds. So we can just rest and recover. The jungle around you is rich with violently colorful fruit, buzzing with insects and unseen life. There's the sound of running water, too. Follow it. The jungle around you is rich with violently colored fruit. Already read that. To the river. The water runs deep, sweet and wild. Impassive fish and unguessable age watch you from clear depths. You drink from cupped hands, and your weariness falls from the monkeys. Monkeys shriek hilariously. A leopard watches from the undergrowth, but makes no move to attack. Afterward, you pluck the flax that grows here. When you wake later, you find it was already woven. We lost 10 terror, 20 hunger, gained 1 bale of parabola linen, for free, and the box makers. This has to do with the little box that we get at the very beginning of the game for having a character in Fallen London, which is their other video game. A heavy-lidded fellow in a satin smock will smile at you. One of ours, he will say. We made it to order for a Z captain, to guard her legacy. She might tell you the phrase. We do not. You will give them the box. We will keep it safe for the Z Captain in case she returned long ago. When it was opened, it will be safe. We will compensate you. We will ask them where to find the Z Captain. Are you sure you want to know? The heavy-lidded fellow asks. Perhaps she doesn't want to tell you the key phrase. No matter how much you offer, perhaps she wants her box back. Sure. What cage imprisons nothing? The fellow will say, where do petals begin? Where do stories end? He beams at you. Actually, for an Eremi riddle, that's almost helpful. Alright, so they want us to go to the Isle of Cats. We'll take our box to the Isle of Cats soon, but not right this moment. First, let's take a look at the shops. So one of the big trade routes that this city unlocks is trading dark drop coffee for bales of parabola linen, which can be traded for a number of things or sold at a fairly good profit. You can also buy a lot of interesting stuff here with secrets, and you can actually buy parabola linen with fragments. If you have fragments saved up that haven't been turned to secrets yet. There's a couple of things that we would like. A Sooth and Copper long box would allow us to get into Station 3. A Watchful Curio is useful in a couple of places. I believe this one is used to talk to the king at Polytherium. Ambiguous Elith can be purchased for a lot cheaper than this elsewhere for echoes. And then this one here, if you ever get Mountain Sherd, 20 units of parabola linen are worth a lot of money if you trade them properly. And this is just one of the shops. We also have this shop where we can buy strange catches for relatively cheap. Fuel and supplies are not so cheap. And then this market where you can do all kinds of interesting things with secrets. So if you make a lot of money, you can just buy secrets. We have 5 apparently. You can trade Z stories for Tales of Terror. So I can take 2 Tales of Terror and turn them into a Z story. That might actually be helpful. Z stories are more valuable than Tales of Terror. I think I'll do like 2 of those like that. If you find a Dread Surmise, you can get 10 Searing Enigmas. And an Extraordinary Implication can be bought here. You can also sell them here for quite a few echoes. I'm half tempted to sell one of the 2 that I own, since we're unlikely to use both of them with this captain. And I'm not really sure what they're used for. It's been a while. Yeah, I can't mouse over and use them. Here's the Manual of Miracles that I was talking about. This is one of our legacy items, which we'll see whenever I kick the bucket. That was part of the quest that we did for starting without a backstory. So, a path wreathed in mystery allows you to unlock that one pretty easily. So, coming back to the shops, since I don't have coffee, I can't really stock up on anything useful to trade. Unless I want to buy some of these with fragments. Looks like I can buy a couple. But that's all of our fragments for now. I have... how many secrets? I could also buy empty mirror catch boxes here. How much hold space do we have before I get too carried away? Quite a few. At least 12. We could buy the Watchful Curio. This is kind of expensive at 3 secrets for 1. There's a few other places you might find these. Let's go ahead and grab the Watchful Curio, and we'll head to Polythene. Polythene. Alright, cool. So that is good for now. We've unlocked pretty much everywhere. There's only a couple of places we haven't been, and there aren't too many things left on the map to uncover. I think we have almost all the ports uncovered. There might be 1 or 2 submarine ports we're missing. Could be down here, could be down here. At the moment, I think we need to head back. And I think what we'll do is we'll head to Frostbound, and then south to Khan's Shadow, then to Nuncio, then to Nook, Polythene, Daunt. We'll grab a bunch of resupply stuff here. But yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape, so let's start heading back while we can. And I'm going to have to conserve my fuel a little bit because we're getting kind of low. We'll pick up 1 free fuel at Frostbound, which is good. And we got plenty of supplies, so digging that. Let's go ahead and shine our light down here for a fragment. Oh, there we go. Oh, I went too far south. I'm not sure I want to fight that ship. Might be able to, but I think I would rather not. This is a great way to lose a bunch of terror, is to just bounce back and forth between these 2 locations. But it does cost coffee every time you want to go to Ireland, so this one is free. Free loss of terror, free supply, free fuel. You should come back and grab this as often as you head past it, as long as you have 1 or more something awaits you, I guess. Not 1 or more, just something awaits you. You need to have that. Alright, we'll head through the Khanate. It's fairly safe. There aren't any aggressive ships inside the Khanate. And we should be able to restock at Khan's Shadow, I guess? almost there. Shadow. Alright, let's grab reports. Have a one-eyed shimshanter carve something from your hunting trophy. His tools are laid before him in a neat row. Oh. Well, there you go. One hunting trophy for a watchful curio. We can sell mushroom wine here. We can also buy fuel for 15, which is kind of pricey. A captivating treasure. Captivating treasures are really nice because you can use them to craft more of the heirlooms for your next playthrough. We're going to have to buy a couple of fuel here, even at that ridiculous price. But I don't think I'm going to buy too many. We just need enough to get to somewhere else safely. Sticky and ivory is pretty cheap here, and you can also buy crates of human souls, which trade pretty well, even in London. It is sometimes tricky to get past the customs agents. But maybe we should grab a couple. We don't have much else that we can trade for a profit on this trip, so I can buy like 10 of them too. That'd only be 570 for 10. And then I guess we can just buy a couple more fuel to top us off. And south to Nuncio. Ooh, a rat ship. We should attack these guys. 3 rat ship. 1 bolt of spider silk. Right. Almost to Nuncio. I'm trying to remember, the port is on the southern end of the island. Another rat barge, huh? What does this one have? 3 supplies. Is there anything I can throw overboard? Not really. Throw over the supplies. Okay. Assemble a port report. Nothing to buy here. Off to polytherium and Nook. We can grab our port report in Nook because we have our wine. And I believe Nook has cheaper fuel than some of these other places. There she is. +1 fuel. Free fuel. Nice. I love how it sort of twitches as you go by. Edge of Nook. We need the wine to get in. The beast quivers with distaste at your trespass. Swim upwards to the maw. Compile a port report. Take from the weak. A tough challenge. Swim down. Last time we went to the maw. Mingle with the Nook folk. Gaze up at the maw. I think we lost terror for doing this last time. Nope, we gained 1 terror. The flinty latitudinarian. In the cavities of his etched-tooth home, trapped air pockets allow an activity largely forsaken in Nook. Conversation. A handful of Nook folk gather there in reminiscence. Brevity is admired. The air is precious and rapidly fouls. The latitudinarian watches and listens. He keeps a merciless peace within his house and cares not a damn for what happens outside. Tell of your recent news. We don't have any. Return to the Great Maw. Swim down to the ruptured throat. Return to the Zubmarine. Check the shops. What can we do here? Well, we can sell the bolt of spider silk if we wanted to. We can also buy cheap fuel. 53 is more than it sells for in London. I'm pretty sure it sells for 50 in London. So why not? Sell that there and we'll buy more fuel. Supplies are fine for the time being. And we're off to polytherium. Basically can get her right here. Gather intelligence. Collect the Cherryman's cargo. Uh-oh. Okay, we do have some hold spots. Yes. Grab that for 1,000 echoes and an audience with the King of the 100 Hearts. The clay broker, leaning on his copper staff, examines you coolly. The king will see your little friend, he says. No, he won't see you, not just now. He gestures for you to hand him the watchful curio. That night, the hill of Polytherium quakes. The words on the walls uncurl themselves. The birth cries of everywhere heard, as claymen sit up, opening in curious eyes, awaiting their tithing in London. The clay broker waits on the quayside. On the flat palm of his broad hand, the watchful curio squats, but it is changed. Our regards to stone is all he says. We now have a wakeful idol. Interesting. Not sure what we'll do with that. 6 cargo space for that. Unfortunately, I do not have 6 cargo space. I have 1 cargo space, and I can't sell any of this stuff here, so I guess we won't be taking Claymen to London this time around. But perhaps that's okay. Let's go ahead and go to Daunt. While we're at it, let's sink this ship. Find the cache of curiosities, just 1 fuel. Alright. To Daunt. Something prevents us from diving. What could it be but the city of Daunt? Right next to us. Dot. Brownies, London. Wander with no commitments. Lost 10 terror. Interesting. We can sell these for 66 here. I don't remember what they sell for in London. I'll go ahead and sell them. We'll buy a couple of fuel. I need to lose 2 fuel. Or 1 fuel and 1 supply. head back to Polytheme and pick up the Clayman if I do that. I need to remember that that skull right there is the entrance. We'll just burn this last little barrel of fuel. There we go. Now we can carry 6 Claymen to London. And from here we can head straight across to Gator's Morn, or yeah, straight across to Gator's Morn, probably fine. I could hit Godfall as well. Yeah, let's hit Godfall. We'll get a port report from there, then to Gator's Morn, then to Rack, and then back to London. I feel pretty good about this upgrade. Going this way. This ship feels really good. I think a very reasonable upgrade, one that I should probably invest in a little bit earlier than I have in the past. I tend to just save up until I can get one of the really big ships. The reality is that this ship doesn't really do cargo any better than the one that you start with, but the difference in its combat capabilities are quite pronounced. We could also give them one of our hunting trophies. Offer a hunting trophy as a gift for their collection. We've not done that before. Interesting. So we get one of each of these and some fragments. That's not a great way to spend a hunting trophy, but they're not too terribly difficult to come by. Alright, 2 Gator's Morn. Really wish those buttons weren't the same. behind. Investigate the wreckage. Captain, quick! Send a lifeboat for the pirate boat. Last time she gave us wine. What'd she give us this time? Dinner with the enemy. Ah. With business dealt with, the pirate poet joins you and a few select members of the senior crew for a late supper. She treats the assembled audience to baptism of glass about her first days at Z after years of servitude. By demand, she follows it with shorter works and Reforged, a cry for broken chains. In Polytherium, we are given our words. We are not allowed to hope they will be kind. In London, I learned to write my own, and in that moment I was free. One day, others of my homeland will read them, and they too will learn. One day, my king's dream must end. Dinner follows, hot wine and cold spiced meats. Sailors openly place bets on whether she actually eats. The pirate poet ignores them. Her stoic facade doesn't even quiver until dessert is served. At that, just for a moment, even she cannot hide a slight smile. Sorbet, Captain? She asks. Eye raised. Don't make me tell folk you're even softer than they say. Okay, no reward this time. Not even some reduction of terror for all of that. That's unfortunate, but we've advanced that quest another time. A couple more pirates, and maybe it will come to a conclusion of sorts. It sounds like her conclusion has to do with Polytherium. But we'll see. Creators more. Explore more. We haven't had good luck here. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. We failed. We gained 5 terror and lost a crew. Okay. Trade drowning pearls for 2 solace fruits. Yes. That's a really cheap way to get solace fruits. Those sell for pretty good. And can be used for other things. We actually have 3 of them. I don't think they sell any better in London, so I'm going to sell 2 of them here for 100 echoes. We will definitely not be selling that. I could sell my firkin of prisoner's honey for a small profit here. We could have done better if I had traded it for the carboy and sold the carboy from Mortal Shrieks, but we can go ahead and make the profit here. I can also sell the wine at a profit here. So I'll sell 2 of the wine. We'll keep... no, we'll sell all of it and I'll just buy a new one. Is there anything else I need to do here? An evening at the Errant Limpets. Gained 1 terror. Conversation quittens as the drinkers look around. They've been here too long, and you're attracting the wrong kind of attention. Time to move on. Alright, off we go then. We're heading to Rack, and then possibly the Salt Lions, and then London. we really need to go to Iraq? I guess we should. Running awful low on fuel again, but not too worried. Let's see. One fuel, one supply, and some echoes. Worth it. Oh, well, this sucks. Get out of that jet stream. Sure looks like it's flowing the other direction to me. I wish they would fix that. And we're down to 3 fuel, but we're in the city. Let's compile a port report and consider the city. Cool. Got 6 of these. We can sell at least 1. I can also buy a firkin for 1. That is the cheapest you can buy a firkin of honey. Is with a supply. We should be able to get to London with 3 supplies. I'm tempted to buy this, but that would put us at 2 supplies because we're about to use 1. So let's not do that. Go wrecking. Taste the tether. A firkin of honey for the disgraced priest. I shouldn't have sold that one. That's all right. Just follow the salt line right to London. take over the encampment, grab a port report, and get on our way. So yeah, my first impression with this ship upgrade is pretty positive. One that I would definitely consider doing at a much earlier point in the game. As long as you have some reliable trade routes to keep it going. It is going to cost more. But that's okay. Should make a fair bit of money here. We had something like 6,600 with the echoes from the Cherryman and the Blind Bruiser, so 5,600 is what we've basically left port with. In our own cache, collect our messages, hand over the cargo, get some echoes and some supplies and some fuel, head to London, deliver the Claymen, hire more crew, or grab one recruit to replace the one that we did. Let's visit the roast markets. Ooh. A watchful curio is for sale. Unfortunately, we don't have a watchful curio anymore. We have something else. I do have one of these, though. In fact, we have 4 of these. Let's go ahead and do that. 75 echoes. This is where we want to go sell these. Okay, so we get a better price here. 63 echoes. What do we buy them for? Something like 53? Not bad at all. Does the alarming scholar want a wakeful idol? Perhaps it's safer to get rid of it. I can't recall. A little present from the scholar. Oh, she wants to give me something. 2 supplies. Okay. So this is the one. I guess we'll give it to her. Increase to 4. So we did get it to increase. We know how to make another one of these, so I'm not too worried about it. Sapphires or Stygian ivory. We'll need to do that at some point. I suppose we should go ahead and spend some time with the fam. Drop some terror. And collect our news. Rest in our elegant town home. That's taken our terror almost down to 0. And we can do Port reports. I'll need to look up where our next one is. I know I picked up a new strategic information, but I don't remember where it was from. Alright, let's go ahead and grab a couple of these. Got some new ones. The Chelenate. Is it still as revolting as they say? What about the smell? Irem is a new one. Oh god, what tense is it written in? Oh god, look, just read it to my colleague here. He'll give you your fee. I'll be over there when you're done. Interesting. Only 20 echoes for that one. The Gant Pole. You're saying you've been where? Here they come, the smirking requests from every captain in the place, all wanting to know if you found their lost pocket watches. By the time the clerk pays up, it's clear he's paying more for the amusement than the information. 60 echoes, though. Pretty good. How much hold space do we have left? We're already at 32. And we're not done. Almost done. Alright, so that's all of them. So what did we end up with? Almost 7,000 echoes. That was a pretty profitable little trip. And that doesn't even include the 1,000 that we were down, I think. I'm trying to remember. I'll have to go back and watch the beginning of the video to see. Were we at 9,000 echoes before I bought the ship? Or something close to 9? Can't remember. All in all, not bad at all. So this will probably be a good place to wrap up this video tonight. There will be more videos this week, but I'm back at work now, so they may not be as regular as they have been while I've been on vacation and taking some time off. So if you're enjoying the series, please let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, leave some comments, tell me what you'd like to see, what stories you'd like to watch me pursue, and I'll try to keep that in mind while I'm playing. Until next time, this has been TheNosePlays, and you guys have a wonderful day.